Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's been a while. Well, first of all, it's been a while since we've opened up a physical booster box on this channel, and it's also been a while since I've opened up MetaZoo, let alone MetaZoo that is not the top series, Topps Chrome. That's right, it's time for the new MetaZoo, and surprise if you weren't aware, but MetaZoo is back. You thought it was dead? Well, it was dead, but it got bought out for a couple $1 million, and it has new owners, and they've just released the new base set. It's just called MetaZoo Trading Card Game. I picked these up, they just arrived a couple days ago, and I've just been looking for a good time to open it. I got 2 booster boxes. We're going to open one in this video. You get 24 packs, 11 cards per pack, and yeah, you can see some of the old favorites are back. It's a TCG themed around cryptids, for those of you that are not aware of it. It was sort of infamous for its rise and downfall for the original set, but we're not going to get into any of that drama and backstory really today. I'm just going to, show you the original MetaZoo cards real quick when I open these up so you can see how they compare to the old ones. But yeah, what do you say we jump in? I got these booster boxes a little cheaper than what they're mostly going for online. Wow, I got a new X-Acto blade finally, and this thing is really sharp. I gotta be careful. I just sliced the box way faster than anticipated. Turns out when you get a new blade, that's what will happen. Also, I got a new camera setup. Got a nice new clip-on stand for my camera, so now we got a nice top-down view for once. So finally got a decent viewing angle for a pack opening. So old MetaZoo boxes used to be 36 packs, this is 24, so actually for a YouTube video it's kind of nicer because sometimes those pack openings can go on for a little long. They would drone on for quite a while. 24 packs is a nice number to get through in like 20 minutes or so. Of course, this is my first box I'm ever opening, so we're going to go a little bit slower to appreciate and check out the new art and how they deal with the holos and everything. So here are the pack arts. We've got Bigfoot, which I will admit I was not a big fan of Bigfoot when they first showed the new art for him. But now that I've seen a couple of the new cards, I've definitely warmed up, especially the secret rare. Here is Piazza Bird. Here's Mothman. There are a ton of Mothman cards in this set. And then the new star that a lot of people are chasing after are the Sun Wukong cards. So what do you say we put the box right over here so you can kind of see the progress going through? Okay, maybe not. I lied. We'll keep it up there. Okay, so first of all, pack opening feel is a lot easier to open than old MetaZoo. Actually, it's very similar to opening a pack of Pokemon cards, which makes sense because it's now printed in the US as opposed to in China. Here's a new card back. Some people were not a fan of this. I actually love this new card back. I think it looks excellent. I like this yellow border with the rainbow colors in the middle here. I think it really makes the logo pop. I like it way more than old MetaZoo, personally. All right, here we go. Seeing the cards in the first time in person. A lot of the old artists have returned, thankfully, since they were the lifeblood of MetaZoo. So you will see some of the artworks that actually return from the original set. Okay, so first impressions, the cards are definitely, they feel, it's been a while since I've held old MetaZoo. Okay, let me just grab a old MetaZoo. So old MetaZoo definitely has a thicker cardstock, first of all. Thicker. This feels a little thinner, but the cardstock doesn't exactly feel low quality. It's hard to describe it, but they do feel a little thinner. They definitely feel like modern day Pokemon cards. But as you can see, a lot of that sort of hand-drawn, like this is an original art from the original Snallygaster from Kelsey, who did the original Mothman art. This is, and I'm going to be completely honest as I go through this, I'm going to let you know the things I like and don't like with new MetaZoo. What I don't like are the caster cards. I think the art really clashes big time with this kind of art, right? Like this hand-drawn kind of look. I think these caster cards really clash with that. And something else that a lot of people may not realize, and hey, maybe things in the future will change. Maybe it was just for this first set to help them fill out artwork. But I did not know this the first time I saw the new cards, but there's a lot of art by Sonderflex, and this is apparently like an outsourcing company. So this is not an individual artist. This is just like they commissioned a ton of artwork to some like place off in I forget the country, but like it's essentially just like a bunch of people that all they do all day long is just draw artwork en masse for companies like MetaZoo, whoever else hires them. Nothing particularly wrong against that. A lot of card games do it, which is fine. Hey, hey, whatever fits in the budget. But MetaZoo was always built around the identity of knowing their artists, getting to know the artists. People would go to conventions and get cards signed by the artists. Like, the artists were definitely a huge part of MetaZoo. And these are just like nameless, no name behind them cards. And you can tell, like, the art definitely has a different feel to it than the heartfelt, hand-drawn cards that typically adorn MetaZoo cards. So just wanted to kind of get that out of the way. It's definitely not one of my favorite things. All right, we got our first holos coming up. So, ooh, that's a good one to start with. I'm a big fan of this Dragon of Okanto Falls artwork. One of my favorite cards from the original MetaZoo. So every pack will come with a reverse, from what I understand, and it's sort of like this Cosmo Galaxy holofoil pattern that pops on the bottom of the card. So I really like how they've handled reverse holos. So the reverse now has the holo pattern in the name card up here and the description, which does make this a little hard to read. I'm not going to lie, that font is really small. I guess that's something that they wanted to carry over from old MetaZoo, which also had incredibly small font. So here is how an old reverse looked in MetaZoo, and I always hated the reverses in MetaZoo. They would holofoil the character itself, and this is a good example because it just muddies the character so much. It's so hard to tell like what the detail is. So this really helps the artwork shine by keeping the holofoil to the borders. I actually am a big fan of that. And here is our holo. So you get 3 holos per box. One of them will be a reverse, and then 2 of them will be a normal holo or an upgraded to like a super rare or an ultra rare or something like that. So I'm actually a pretty big fan of how these holos look. I really don't mind them. They kind of give off that old school Pokemon feel with the spotted sort of like Cosmos Galaxy foil. I forget the technical term for it. And we get our 2 stars. So there, you get about 8 to 9 of these 2 stars super rares in the box, from what I understand. And there will be many versions of Sun Wukong. So the main thing about new MetaZoo is that they don't just have like one type of Sun Wukong, right? So they'll allow many different artists to give their interpretation of Sun Wukong. As you will see, I'm sure we're going to pull probably at least, hopefully, one more Sun Wukong. But you will definitely see what I mean by that. There's going to be a lot of clashing art styles, something that some people are really into, some people are not. One thing I do want to say, though, I am a huge fan of these Kelsey aura cards. I love this kind of artwork. And you can actually apparently get these in like a reverse holo or a holofoil. I'm going to definitely be hoping to get some of those. But I love this style of art. So first pack down. 23 to go. Well, things will speed up a little bit. Definitely going to take our time and analyze and give my thoughts on things for the first box here. So hope you guys are nice and comfy. Maybe get a cup of tea or coffee for this box opening. It's going to be a fun one. Kind of a historic thing. We never thought we'd see MetaZoo coming back, that's for sure. All right, so there's going to be like all kinds of land cards. Some of them a little bit more impressive looking than others. Let's keep the holos separate. So, of course, because MetaZoo is a game that is meant to be played and not just collected, you're going to have a lot of these kind of like field cards, but I'm going to be completely honest once again. I'm liking the field cards. The art for the fields and like the terras and the auras and all that kind of stuff are actually really cool. There's one in here by Poncho that I hope I get in a holo because I'm a pretty big fan of it. Here's another one. Where do they have the artists? Right down here. So yeah, a lot of new artists that we haven't heard of before. Here's Pamela, one of the cooler original artworks. I really liked it was like a Walmart promo, I think, for Pamela. So this is a Sonderflex card, right? Now, there might even be other outsourced companies but Sonderflex is the one that I know. So it's like, okay, guess we'll never know who the artist is behind this card. But hey, maybe that's something that will change in future sets. I'm assuming for how quick they bought the company and how quick they needed to turn around this booster box, maybe this was one of their only options to quickly outsource a ton of artwork. And they do good artwork. Nothing against their art. It's just that it just feels a little soulless, right? It's lacking that definitive artist that we can like tie to the artwork from MetaZoo. And that was one of the biggest things with the original set. Okay, we got a holo Bigfoot. And I actually don't mind that art. Don't mind that Bigfoot. There's a lot of different Bigfoot cards in here too. And then here's another holo. I really like what they do with the holos where it's like sort of spot foiled, but some of the holo foil kind of like peeks through. They do a really good job with like selective holo foiling their cards. I'm just like looking at my mic. Apparently my mic is like really picking up the pack opening sounds. I'm sure you guys like that kind of audio anyway, right? Sheep squatch. I think there's a few sheep squatches. Do a barrel roll. See, like, to a lot of people, they look at a card like this and they're like, ooh, that does not look like MetaZoo, and you're not wrong. This does not look like original MetaZoo. This looks like a Lorcana card. And I just pulled out a random one just so you can kind of see. Right, like this is original MetaZoo here. It's got that sort of like original Pokemon hand drawn. This is an illustration by Lily, famous MetaZoo artist. Sort of like just a hand drawn watercolor kind of character with usually a sort of background like this with a Pokemon style holofoil background. This to a lot of people is what MetaZoo always look like. So when you see something like this, that is clashing big time, right? Like nothing on this card says to a lot of people that's MetaZoo. But that's going to be the number one thing that people are going to have to get used to is accepting that there's going to be a lot of, excuse me, a lot of different artwork. Right, like even this is from Isaac Sky Lee, who is one of the original MetaZoo artists, but he's definitely going for a more bold, less sort of watercolor kind of look with this. So it really depends if you're feeling it, if you're not feeling it. Me, I'm still warming up to it. Oh man, I really like the way these land cards look. Really cool. I like the way they look with the holo. All right, and our foil here is Phoenix. That's a nice holo pattern on that. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of how these holofoils look. We're still waiting to pull our first textured card. You're guaranteed, well, not guaranteed, but you'll get at least 2, sometimes 3 of the that's I think ultra rares, whatever the 3-star art, alternate arts. That's right, alternate arts. I think, I don't know. I'm still learning the lingo here. So 2, very rarely 3, and then 1 per case. Case is 12 boxes. 1 per case is a secret rare. So obviously you are not expecting to pull that. So here's an example of like one of the original arts that this is from the Seance set. They just kind of lifted the original art and put it into a card like this. A lot of people were not a fan of that, but honestly I think it's kind of cool because a lot of this art was hard to see in the original MetaZoo because this card was either holofoil or reverse, and the reverse takes away all the detail of the cryptid, and then the holofoil takes away all the detail of the background. So I really like these blown up, slightly larger pictures of the original art. Also, it looks like we got something coming up in this pack here. I like this card. It definitely looks like a Lorcana card. Okay, there's our reverse. There is a print line. People have been pointing out print lines in their openings that I've seen. So I'm not fully spoiler free. I did watch a few box openings, but there are some noticeable print lines sometimes. And wow, sometimes the holos are kind of hard to notice. Sometimes you got to really like if I didn't tilt this card at all, right? That doesn't look holofoil at all until you go like this. So, ooh, there's a big nasty scratch or a print line there too. It's a pretty big one. So we got another 2-star. This is Groot Slang. Once again, another kind of unique looking take on a cryptid for MetaZoo. Definitely a bit more cartoony in style, and this is once again a Sonderflex card. So, yep, Sonderflex, you're going to be seeing a lot of them. And that's the one thing about original MetaZoo that I really liked. All the cards hand-drawn, hand-picked artists. There was no kind of outsourcing to random companies that may or may have no idea like what MetaZoo is. Right? Like obviously they just are given an idea and they have to try and represent it in art, but like this is another Sonderflex. So pay attention to the artist down here. You'll see what I'm talking about. Right? Like that art style clashes big time with this. That's just me though. I'm still warming up to it. I'm very conflicted on how I'm going to feel about this. I figured let's pick up 2 boxes. I don't want to judge it just based on what I've seen online. I want to make up my own mind. There's a Snipe. Looks like an original Snipe design. That's kind of cool from Kelsey. Reverse. Aguara. Aguara. Sonderflex. And our holo is a Phantom car. So I figured 2 boxes would be enough to know like how I'm feeling about this. I think the big thing for me will be how I feel about the textured cards, like the actual hit cards and stuff. Something though about this, because it's copying very closely, a lot of Bandai TCGs and Pokemon and stuff with the way that the hits are. I feel like in the original MetaZoo, all the cards it was just like either normal holo or reverse holo. There were no, with some exceptions, no crazy secret rares or anything above like the holo, right? Whereas this, once you start tiering your holos in so many different ways with like the 2 stars and the 3 stars and the alternate arts and the secret and the hidden rares, I really like this card from Poncho. That in the holo will look really nice. It makes it so that like the cards that are anything but the biggest hits in the box, just like Pokemon, they lose so much value. And of course, it's not all about the value and anything, but when you're buying a box for $100+ or whatever, like you want some of your cards to hold a little bit of value. And if the only thing people are caring about are 2 cards in the entire booster box, like that can kind of feel bad. So it'll be interesting to see how the market goes for MetaZoo with this new pull style. There's an original Kentucky Hellhounds. That's artwork from the original game as well. Kind of cool. Right, like what will happen to the 2 stars? You're getting 8 to 9 per box. Are they all just going to end up as $1 or $2 cards? It's going to really depend on the player base. Does a player base develop behind this? Here's a very Disney-looking card. Does a player base develop behind this? Do I end up playing it? If I end up playing it, then hey, I'm not going to care what the value really is at the end of the day. I'll need the cards regardless. But if I do go more of a collector-only route, here's a reverse for Awful. Very infamous artwork from the original MetaZoo. And a 2-star Monkey Mirage. Very nice art on that from John Gogney. Hopefully I said that correctly. Let's leave that up. We'll see up any 2 stars and above. We still have yet to really hit any of the big boys. At least 2 of them are coming. And that's another thing about boxes like this. Like the original MetaZoo, right? You just, while you opened it, with the exception of Seance, obviously, if you hit some full holos, there was always still hope that you can open like a Mothman or a Bigfoot or like some of the desirable cards. You never really, you had the desire to open the entire box because you never knew when the good cards would stop, because it was sort of unpredictable. Once again, with the exception of Seance, that's a whole different story. Whereas with this, once you hit your 2 3 stars, you're kind of like, okay, that's probably it. There's still incentive to open more because of the very rare off chance that you get a third 3-star card. And then, of course, the secret rare, but the chances of that are very low, so like you can kind of lose some steam. Here's one of the original cards that they first revealed for New MetaZoo here, Goofus Bird. I'm not super into the art for that, honestly. Also, nasty print line right there. Some big scratching and print lines. See if I can catch that on the camera. It's hard. Yeah, you can kind of like see it right here. Big scratch. Oh, there's a swirl. Pokemon swirl. Oh, that's actually the exact Pokemon swirl. Hold on. Wow, Pokemon uses that exact swirl right there. I know from 151. It's like they call that a galaxy swirl. Those are pretty rare to find in the Pokemon cards. So it's probably the same hollow foil, honestly, that they're using on their energies at least. And a Krukata. Dawson Wadrich. So, like, I'm kind of thankful that I haven't hit my 3 stars yet because there's still something to look forward to. I've seen some boxes where people open it up, they get them first couple packs, and then it's like, well, there's not much more we can look forward to other than getting super lucky on a secret rare or pulling like a Holo Mothman of some rarity. One of my favorites. That's the original Pamela art right there from Kelsey. That was the Walmart or Target. I think it was Walmart promo card. Let's move some of these out of the way. Yeah, not really a fan of the casters at all. They just look kind of out of place, to be honest with you. I really prefer the original MetaZoo caster art. bit more whimsical, a bit more original. This feels very safe and like generic. Right, we're not here to glaze MetaZoo the whole time, right? Like I'm gonna definitely let you know how I feel about this set. Oh look, he's got a swirl right on his teeth, nice and swirly. Trample. There's a cool 3-star rarity of this card, but I actually really like this one. I like that take. I like Babe the Blue Ox as the trample card. So this is actually the artwork for the secret rare of Bigfoot, and that's a really, really nice looking card. Not the secret rare, oh no, yeah, it is the secret rare. It's like an $800 card. The secret rare, one of the secret rares of the original artwork of Mothman is like $2,000 to $3,000 right now. If I pulled that, I think I would actually sell it. I don't, because, you know, I'm sure that price will come down in time. Sell it now. You could always rebuy it later. I'm going to start putting my cards on top. I was trying to keep the auras and the terrors separate, but obviously that's not working. It's a cool bat squatch. Ooh, Quetzalcoatlus reverse from Kelsey. That's a really nice one. Sorry, full holo on that one. And, ooh, full holo Piazza Bird. See, I do like that. Some people don't like these old MetaZoo like cards blown up like this, but I think that looks fantastic. That looks so cool. It would actually be kind of cool, too, if they let the artwork bleed into the edge, but, you know, got to keep it consistent with all the other cards. That's probably one of my favorite cards we've pulled so far. I think I actually prefer this over the original Piazza Bird. But, man, when you compare this, so this is new Piazza Bird here. This is original Poncho Piazza Bird. Which do you prefer? Me? This one all the way. All right. You're still waiting. I have heard a lot of reports of people that say like the big hit cards are usually on the bottom of the box, and that seems like it's proving true so far. Mantis Man with the glasses. Momo. I like Momo. Momo's a fun card. This is quintessential old school MetaZoo. Like this is the kind of art where you either love it or you hate it. People that despised original MetaZoo, like these are the kind of cards that came to their mind. They say it looks like it's drawn by a 5-year-old. It's just the style of MetaZoo. Ooh, haven't seen this Mothman card before. Statue of Mothman. Fortified barricades and a 2-star Ziz. It's a pretty cool one. Feels like this would be a pretty hard set to complete. Lots of different cards, lots of different arts. Ooh, let me get rid of this blade before I stab my finger. All the reverse holos, the holos. But it's like, would I want a full complete set of this? I don't think I would. Because I don't like all the artwork. You know, I'll just be real with you. Some of them are boring. They're just not for me. Would I want a full complete set of like all the cryptid style cards? Maybe, I don't know. But like all the other stuff, all the other fluff, like am I really going to want to try and make sure that I have the holo and the reverse holo of Power Soul? I don't know. Probably not. And especially the caster cards. Here's another one. Like this is a great example of why people don't like the new MetaZoo. This kind of artwork, right? Like it is just so different. Now, the counter argument to this is, well, Pokemon does the same thing. Pokemon has many different artists represent the Pokemon in many different ways, but they do at least, it's like, okay, there's like 100 different Charmander cards, but Charmander consistently will have the same design in those cards. They're not like drastically different. Like in here, they are drastically different in terms of their design and proportions, so it's a little jarring when you see a Snallygaster that looks like this. And I don't have the comparison here, but there's a, you know, you have the original Snallygaster that we saw earlier, but there's like a new full art of Snallygaster that just looks like so different from that. So there's a lot of different ways that people are looking at it. Ooh, that is a cool one. Gonki. I haven't heard of Gonki, but that is a cool card. It's even got the swirl on the swirl. There we go. Could be a fun little goal for people to like collect certain holos with certain swirl patterns on them. That's a cool one. I like that. And I like the spot foiling. Like the foiling is definitely more prominent in certain parts of the swirl than the other. Drop Bear used to be a very rare card for Australia. Now we've got it just as a normal little holo. Alright, come on. Where are the rare cards hiding? Apparently on the bottom of the box, just like everybody warned me about. I really like how easy these packs are opening. Girdle Greaser Pete, another OG art card. Let me know what you guys are thinking about this, though. Like, if this is your first time seeing somebody open these, I actually really like this snipe. You know, I'll give credit to Sonderflex. They may be nameless in terms of who made the card, but some of the cards are actually nice. I like this interpretation. So they were probably shown original Snipe and told just like, hey, can you make this card with a new version? And that's exactly what they did. A lot of people are weirded out by this card because it's a fire explosive rabbit, but it's like an earth aura type. Thunderous Feather. Yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking. Like, are you an old school MetaZoo collector that was curious about this? Are you passing on it entirely? Were you unaware of this? I originally built this card game channel off of MetaZoo, so like I almost feel a sense of obligation to have to check this new one out and let people know what I think. But I was curious. It's not like I did it just because it's like, okay, well, feel forced. I did definitely want to see it for myself and feel the cards, see the quality. See, this I don't mind, right? So, two different artists, but the card, like the character Ziz, looks pretty similar between them. But that's not always the case. Sometimes they will just look so drastically different. It can be a little startling. Ooh, we got the full holo of Dragon of Okanto Falls. That looks really nice. I almost wish for the full holo that they wouldn't holo the bottom part here. Just holo the actual artwork. And, oh, two full holos, so Lightning Worm again. Man, they're making me dig, but they're also keeping you guys watching because I haven't pulled the hit cards yet. Thank you to those of you that have made it this far. I know this is a bit of a longer one. There's OG Hodag. This is one of the first cards they ever revealed for New MetaZoo. Sonderflex. Yeah, interesting. So apparently they attempted to do like a more closer to the original style MetaZoo artwork. It's an interesting artwork for lava armor. It's like a children's pop-up book kind of artwork. Yeah, that's Jet Yates. It's probably one of my favorite artists from the original MetaZoo. She made a lot of some of my favorite cards. Dingbell. Victor Larson. Isn't that crazy how Victor Larson is back in MetaZoo? Left MetaZoo to go make his own game, Nom Nomverse, and now he has art back in MetaZoo. Isn't that something? Oh, this is the one I was talking about earlier. Hyperion. I really like this card for some reason. This is a poncho art. It just really reminds me of those old school, like 90s art cards. It's something about it. It's so simple. It's just like a giant tree in the middle with the sunset and the forest around it. I actually really like this card. Looks like we got a swirl with a galaxy dot right on top of it. Alright, still nothing. Ooh, I think we got something here. It's only a 2-star, but guess what? We got our first Mothman. Hell yeah. That's like a $20-ish card, even though it's, I think it's like $20 right now. Shows you the power of Mothman. Typically, these 2-stars from what I've seen on eBay are like $5 or $6. But yeah, that's the pack art Mothman. Very nice. Very nice. Actually, you know, the more I look at these 2-stars, I really like them. They kind of pop with this rainbow foil. I like that it doesn't have the galaxy or the cosmos effect in them. They definitely have a kind of cool old school vibe to them. Terrible centering on this card, though. Super heavy on the right. I don't know, maybe like if I get into this in the collecting side, I would do some light grading of the cards. Very light grading with maybe CGC. I think CGC would actually look really good with these because a lot of the cards have black borders and feature a lot of like blacks in the card design in terms of like the you know, there's a lot of like black borders and stuff and black text. So I think getting it in a pristine with that black and gold label or just, you know, the regular black and white label can actually look pretty nice with these. So maybe I don't go down the route of like fully collecting everything in here. I just kind of like focus on the cards that I think look cool and see if we can pull off some 10s or pristine 10s or something as a fun little goal. Okay, starting to see. This is a card that got a lot of people's suspicions going. It's really weird because this card is like cropped here normally on the original card, and then they just mirrored it over here. So this is like a weird mirror. So the card's like off center with a mirroring effect over here. It was, yeah, strange, odd. Not sure how that got passed through for card design. Spring heels. Very different kind of style for artwork. And another 2-star. Oh, there's our Piazza bird. So we're pulling our pack arts. The only one we need is that ultra rare or secret rare Bigfoot to hit the pack artworks. Stacks here getting. This table's like slightly lopsided, so my cards like to slip and slide all over the place. We still have not hit a 3-star though. This is getting kind of crazy. Seems like the theory of them being on the bottom of the box may actually be true. So if you're ever doing like a box break, make sure that your person that is opening your box is like shuffling your packs, that's for sure. I really think I would have really liked this set if, you know, it's going to take some getting used to and making up my mind, but if all of the cards, right, like this is another one of those cards where people saw this and they're like, what? Like this art is just so different from what we expect. If they would have just stuck with the original style artwork and made that like prominent on all the cards, man, I would have been in love with it, right? Like if all the cards look like this, right? All original style MetaZoo artwork and put it in full art and everything, like, oh man, would have been in heaven for that. But it is what it is, right? Like these people are industry experts that are running the show now, so they know way more than me when it comes to this stuff. It's a pretty nice art. Really lets the orb art shine. These were very much not really big fan favorites in the original. Because you pulled a ton of these things and people got kind of sick of them, but I really liked how prominent the art is here now. And we got a Ho Sonderflex. Once again, not terrible art, but we'll never know the artist. Which, I just want to say, you know, hey, a lot of people would say, well, you don't really get to know the artist in other TCGs either, but, well, you can say that's not true, but MetaZoo, I mean, that was the identity of MetaZoo, was getting to know the artist, their style, their characters, like, whatever. We're not going to go over everything I said earlier, but I think you get the point. Another Victor Larson on the original Jersey Devil. It doesn't look like Victor Larson contributed any new art. I could be wrong on that. Maybe I went by one and didn't even notice, but yeah, he gave a lot of his original art, which is cool. Right? Got to pay respects to where he was with the original MetaZoo. It's like, hey, sure, you can use my art. No problem. Even though I'm working on my own TCG, like definitely, yep. Give art to his direct competitor, which is kind of cool. All right, we got to have some big cards coming up here. Ooh, there's Lightning Frog. This is one of the earliest artworks they revealed for the new sets from Poncho. I'm a fan of this. I like it. It's very 90s-esque looking with the color work. That in a holo would probably look nice. Power Up Orange. A lot of people are excited when they saw this because it's featuring Mothman right dab in the center there. I think this would have made a really cool full art card. Secret rare of some type. Just extend this all the way out to the borders. All right, we got our first 3-star coming up here. Let's see what it is. It's from Dao Li. Ooh, that's one of the ones I wanted. Man, that is one of the ones I wanted, Dragon of Okanto Falls. We finally get to see the texture. Let's put this down here. Let's sleeve this up. Let me give it a little touch just to feel it, the texture. Definitely got texture. It's definitely some like Pokemon Bandai card texture work. Some of the 3-stars are like way more than others. This was one of my favorites when I saw it. So what you can see what they do here is they texture everything. So like the sun rays, the wings have different texture direction. I will say, like, some of it's a little weird, like the chest area here. You can see it's almost like he's got a line going right down his chest. Some of it doesn't really work. Some of the textures on certain cards, from what I've seen, are way better than others. This is one of the better attempts. I think they should have done like a V texture on his chest. The just straight lines down the middle doesn't really work for me. Some of them seem a little rushed with the texture. Some of them seem a little over the top in terms of like how much texture they tried to put on. If anything, it makes you wonder how cool it would have been if just the background was textured and not the dragon himself. But yeah, big fan of this card. That is a nice one. Has the centering on the back. Pretty heavy on the left. But as our first 3-star pull, I'm pretty happy with that. Let's keep him right there off to the side. We still guaranteed one more of those. I'm not sure if a one per box exists, but from all the other boxes that have been opened, it's usually always 2. Small chance of 3. From what I understand, is probably like maybe 1 or 2 boxes per case that contain 3 instead of 2. So the 3-stars for the nice ones, they seem to be anywhere between like $40 and $100. So typically, if you're pulling a good 40 and 60, I should say, except for like some of the big exceptions of the biggest chase cards. So you definitely are currently getting some good value back on what you're pulling. Ooh, I'm a fan of this Van Meter. Lily did a nice job on that one. Very deep colors on it with the background. And the OG Cumberland Dragon from Jet Yates. So, for example, obviously, if you're pulling like fan favorite artwork of Sun Wukong or Mothman or Quetzalcoatlus, some people are really a big fan of. Like, you can easily pull one card that's worth way more than what you paid for the box right now. Growth. Lily, the original growth artist. This is a new take on it. Kind of cool. Yeah, this is one of the more striking cards, right? Like, this is one of those, like, so different kind of art styles. Some people love it, some people don't. And another regular holo here. Haven't seen this card before. Blinding Headlights. Okay, we're getting down to our final packs here. I do have one more box to open, so if you're looking to watch me open that one, be sure to subscribe. Probably record it right after this and just upload it on a different day. You know how we do things. You know how those trading card pack opening content creators do things. Oh yeah, Rainbow Crow. I actually like that. There's a few different Rainbow Crows in this set. Some of them quite nice looking. Rat King. The funny thing about this card is it actually has Andy, one of the original people responsible for the downfall of the original MetaZoo. That is his artwork there. I guess they didn't realize that Isaac Sky Lee had put that in as a little Easter egg on this art, or maybe they did realize, who knows. But yeah, that is the original Andy artwork. Not super prominently featured in the Rat King card. This card originally has a history behind it. Like, you had to go to New York City, Times Square, take a picture of yourself in front of a MetaZoo billboard that they were advertising at the time, and then you would send that in, and you would redeem this card. They would mail it to you. So like very few of these cards ever got out there. When MetaZoo shut down and they were like liquidating everything online, hundreds more of these cards showed up, and now the value went from like hundreds of dollars to like $20 for this card. Pretty interesting history with that one. Ooh, haven't seen this one yet. Radioactive Hornets. Kind of like this take on it a little bit more. It's a cool card though. I really like how the greens pop on that. Static Vision. Ooh, Metal Man of Alabama. The colors in that really pop. I'm a fan of that. That's a cool card. I like that one. I feel like he deserved a full art. And, ooh, we got another 3-star. All right, it is from David Pelulo. Let's see what we're going to get. It's probably our last big card of the box. Ooh, we got the Hodag. Very nice. Texture work on here. Let's take a look at the texture work without a sleeve. A little bit easier to see that way. So you can see how they're doing like this sun ray effect, kind of applied generously over the top of Hodag there. I think they did a better job on the texturing on this card. Then Dragon of Ocanto falls slightly. I do like the texturing on that, though. That's a cool one. Hey, at least I got 2 cool full arts for my first box. No Mothmans, but it's okay. Got another shot in the other box. How's the centering? Centering still a little heavy on the left-hand side there. Alright, I mean, we could still pull a secret rare. We could still pull some of the Mothman cards. Like, even just the regular rare Mothman holds some decent value. Which, even, like, in a full case, I think I've heard it's pretty hard to just pull one of those because there's just so many cards in the set. Black Dog of Hanging Hills from Poncho. Definitely classic Poncho artwork, that's for sure. Bladed Embers. Oh, there's our 2-star Rainbow Crow. Not the one I was thinking of, but it's one of the Rainbow Crows you can pull. And we've got 2 packs left. These cards are getting a little snagged on the edge there. It's a long video, but hey, it's been a while since we've opened MetaZoo. We've had a lot to say, especially with a new set. Like, who would have ever saw this coming? New MetaZoo set after they got killed off and filed for bankruptcy, like, hello? Some people are big fans of this one. Ooh, we got the other Dragon of Ocanto Falls from Kelsey. I'm a big fan of that one. I'm a big fan of Dragon of Ocanto Falls. That looks so good with the rainbow background. That's one of the better ones. For sure. Very heavy on the right side, though, there. Centering is definitely going to be a challenge on these. Last pack. Golden Bear. But the nice thing is there's so many cards in this set. The variety is nice. Like, we're still opening tons of new cards we haven't seen before. Alright. Got our first reverse holo of a caster, I believe. Oops. Separate my cards better. And our last card of the box is a Poncho Jetstream, which I like. I really like the tarot cards in this. And that is it. Let's do a quick recap here on the 2 stars and above for you guys. Let's count these. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think this was a great box. So look at this. We got the 2-star Mothman. And I'm personally a big fan of this Dragon of Ocanto Falls, but we got the Mothman. One Mothman. And then the big highlights here being Dragon of Ocanto Falls. Probably my favorite pull of the box. Love the artwork on that and the 3-star Hodag. So, no secret rares. But hey, we got another box. I'm going to get into ripping that right now. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next video. Let me know what you think of the new MetaZoo.